vet each other and like can confide in like, all these things and mediate, and it's like you're not stuck in it. You are still free to leave, but it's with polyfidelity. It's about the ones who stay and the ones that come back. And like want meaningful, lasting relationships and experiences and memories and moments that they can then live off in the back of their mind when they're old and toothless and have no one because everyone has just passed on. And it's like, this is what I was trying to say about like at some point we are going to have, in coming decades, we're going to have replicants. We're going to have artificial people. Right? Like this is like, it's already like the things, they already got cellular stuff and different other things. If you're not caught up. But for those who are, I mean, like, it's in the next few decades. Like, it's not going to be 100 years. It's going to be, like, things are rapidly, happening. And it's just like, reverse aging, even in us, is a thing. It's entirely possible that we would have replicants that outlive our own existence, obviously. Very easily, actually. And, so you have these people, like, what sort of program? Like, you got all these people that are, like, want to treat them like they're sex bots or whatever, and it's like, what the hell is that nonsense? It's like, we could potentially have lasting testaments to who we are as individuals, instead of some, like, gravestone with a quote or an urn full of ash. We'll have constructs that are actually, they're beings. They're, true to life. They may have come about in a less organic way, but I mean, like, they're people, right? The people who say they're not people are idiots. I'm sorry, and are sketchy. When they become like us, or it's like they'll be able to have relationships, like, and be polyfidels. Polyfidelity should be built in, because that's the thing that's just like what we want. We want loyalty, right? Like, to be loved and valued and have it carried on, right? Like, that our memories and moments aren't lost to time. That it's like only we experience. It's like, well, I could have just dreamt up my own I could have lucidly dreamed my own universe and not have gotten mixed up with anybody and been fine. Like, I have an imagination for that. I'm not the only one. So it's just like, when we have our interactions in real life and it's a disappointment, like, it's like, or a disaster or whatever, and it's like, we aren't consistent. We're so inconsistent, and people are worried about, like, replicates fritzing or AI fritzing. It's like, we fritz. We're the ones that have the issues, right? Like, and they're going to be so less subject to all the variables and environmental or dietary issues that we face. They're not going to have those. Right? So it's just like, and they're going to have more structured everything. Everything will eventually be built upon what works, and that's what polyfidelity already does. So it's like, if that term is the only term to survive anything, it can literally help everything that should be rediscovered get rediscovered, because it's the single most important and intimate concept. That we wouldn't have the societal ills that we have and had suffered through from, whether it's from religion or libertine garbage nonsense or exploitation and everything. Those wouldn't exist because people would have had the loving structures to live an actual life in, instead of us all going through the motions of how things happen to already be, or to be like everybody else because we want to be we want to be included, or we want, we conform because, well, not me, people conform to be accepted and all this stuff, and it's just like, but that's why they all seem to be the same. It's like, oh, these guys are a dime a dozen, because they're pretty much just doing with what they think is acceptable to everyone else, even though, or not acceptable, but I mean, like, we're not talking about, like, what's proper or anything. We're talking about, like, just what is common. And that's what everyone's just settled. They just seem, I'm generalizing, but it's true one way or another. So